Alright, so we've got a question here involving a triangle. It's not a right angle triangle, so it's likely to be, because we want the lengths of sides, it's likely to be using either the sine rule or the cosine rule or the area of the triangle rule. So let's look what the question actually wants. So it says calculate the size of the largest angle of the triangle. So we can see here that we've got a side, side, side triangle. When you've got a side, side, side triangle and you're trying to find angles within it, then the cosine rule is appropriate. So if we write down the cosine rule that's given to us on the exam paper's formula sheet, so a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc times the cos of the angle where a is. So we want the largest angle in here. So I think we can see fairly quickly that 7.6 across here, 4.2, 5.3. Therefore, the largest angle is going to be up here. This is going to be the obtuse angle. So that's where the angle needs to be. So we'll label this A. So therefore, this is little a. And B and C could be anywhere we want. So capital letters, remember, for the vertices, and lowercase letters for the opposite sides. So little b and little c. The question here wants the angle, so we need to rearrange this first. So at the moment there's a negative sign here involved with the angle, so the best thing to do is make that positive by changing it to plus on this side. So we have a squared plus 2bc cos of a equals b squared plus c squared. And now we just move everything away from the a and do the inverse cos. So let's have a look then. So we're going to say that a equals, we're going to have b squared plus c squared. We have to take away the a squared, and that will then get rid of the a squared from that side. And then we have to divide, because this 2bc is timesing by the cos of a. So we divide by 2bc, and we have to take, because we want the inverse of cos, then this will be cos to the minus 1 of that answer. So we work out what that becomes. So b squared is going to be 5.3 squared, c squared is going to be 4.2 squared, minus a squared, which was 7.6 squared, all over 2 times the b value, 5.3, times the c value, 4.2. And we want the inverse cos of that. Okay, so we get our calculator and put all of that into our calculator, and we get an answer of 105.7 degrees. The reason we want that is because it's one decimal place. So that gives us the angle at A, the largest angle. It then says calculate the area of the triangle. Well, we've got to ask ourselves what the formula is for that. Again, we go to the front of the exam paper, look at the formula sheet, and it tells me that to find the area of any triangle where we're given side, angle, side. Now we've worked out this A angle, then we've got a side, angle, side triangle. So that means we can use the area formula, which is a half AB sine of C. So therefore that meant the angle was at C. Well, in our case we've worked out that angle is 105.7, and the A and B comes from the opposite sides. So I need to be using the side here, and I need to be using the side here, which is 5.3 and 4.2. So the area is going to be a half times 4.2 times 5.3 times the sine of the angle that we worked out a minute ago, 105.7 degrees. So again, we put that into our calculator and we get an answer of, because we wanted a 3 unit figures, of 10.7. So the answer is going to be 10.7 square centimetres. Again, remember, you can label the triangle up any way you like. The capital letters always tell us where the angles are. So we had the angle here, the largest angle, and we had a side angle, side triangle. So therefore we can use this rule to work out the area.